Ladies and gentlemen, hello. Welcome back to Dubious Engineering. Remember the coffee table arcade machine? So this is where I took a coffee table, cut a big hole in it, installed a monitor on an angle, and then underneath the coffee table is a Raspberry Pi 4 and some audio speakers with a separate DAC and also a switch. This coffee table arcade machine is lovely and it has two USB ports on the front of it, but what it doesn't have are proper joysticks. We've been using these things, which are very similar to little SNES controllers, and they just don't quite cut the mustard. I got in touch with MonsterJoysticks.com and they very kindly sent me buttons, joysticks, wiring looms and PCBs, which give me the ability to be able to create my own joystick. Now, the last time you saw me working on this joystick, it was a very boxy looking thing. And in fact, I remember actually taking a saw and cutting the joystick in half. Well, things have really moved on quite significantly since then, because now we've actually got quite a pretty looking joystick. Now, how functional it is yet to be established. So I'll show you the build process and then we'll have a chat kindly with Ian from Monster Joysticks, and then what we'll do is we'll do some gaming and we'll see how this feels proper arcade machine look and feel with this joystick. Continue watching and we'll look forward to speaking to you again in a few minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure in putting the face to the name Monster Joysticks. Good morning, Ian. How are you?
Morning, Howard. Not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad at all. Thanks very much. Monster Joysticks very kindly supplied all of the parts, obviously not the case, but the joysticks and the buttons for this project that I've been working on. Ian, thank you very much indeed. You've seen the amount of effort that I've put into making this joystick, and I'm actually quite pleased with the way it looks. So people can buy all of these parts from monsterjoysticks.com.
Yes, that's correct. Yes, and I believe I sent you the wiring as well, didn't I? And the PCBs that you're using to connect them.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
They're all available as well, yes.
If building all of this yourself from scratch, from bits of plywood and spraying them and 3D printing little enclosures and everything isn't going to be your thing, if you don't want to get into that kind of detail, you also offer some do-it-yourself kits, don't you?
Yes, we do. That's the main thing I think people come to us for, the kits that you put together yourself.
In those kits, is that just a USB cable output to a computer, or are there other options in there?
It depends on what you want. The case, the main Raspberry Pi case, the big one, it's there as a case, and you can fit your Raspberry Pi that you've already got. It'll take all the models of Raspberry Pi, and you can then assemble it as a kit where you can put the adapter on top of your Raspberry Pi, and it will interface through the SNES dev drivers and operate that way as an all-encompassed unit, and that's it. Or you can use the USB connector on the adapter and use it as a USB joystick. You don't have to have the Pi if you don't want to. You can just mount the adapter in the case and use it as a USB joystick.
So effectively then you have a whole little emulation console in a joystick that can plug straight into your telly, and you can sit there and play games straight from the joystick itself.
Yeah, that was the point. Yeah, it was came from the idea of not everyone has the space for a big cabinet as such, but they still want that arcade feeling and that arcade experience. Fantastic
stuff, isn't it? Ian, thanks ever so much for joining us today. And please, ladies and gents, if you get an opportunity, pop over to monsterjoysticks.com, check out the website, and spread the word. Thanks ever so much, Ian. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Take care. Thanks. Bye for now. Well, that was very kind of Ian to take time out and have a chat with us and talk about monsterjoysticks.com. As you can see, a proper joystick makes all the difference. Thanks to Vicky for helping me test this. As always, please give us a good old thumbs up. Make sure you've subscribed if you haven't already. Maybe check out some of our other videos as well. Here's Ian to see us out. So Ian, you've got a few words of wisdom for me, haven't you?
Well, I mean, words of experience, probably the better way of phrasing it. I noticed that with your sticks, the fantastic long design is great. The problem you're going to find is that you'll need somewhere to put your wrists. Otherwise, you'll find that you're clawing over them like this, and your arms are going to get tired pretty quickly. So you may want to have that flush level base with the buttons to allow you to rest your wrists. Otherwise, you're going to start to get quite tired quite quickly. And it's something we try to do with our kits, where we try to offer that just a small pad just to place the bottom of your hands to give you that little bit more comfort, while keeping it compact as well, which is the trade-off is you can't keep it compact and give yourself the space to rest your wrists and stuff. So it's quite difficult. It's quite a good trade-off you've got to work on there.
Mate, you know what? I didn't even think of it, and I think you've probably got a very, very fair point there. And this is, I think, why your joysticks are the shape that they are. And I've looked at your joysticks, and I thought to myself, why does it have that little sort of rounded end? Where and now I'm just working it out. It's so that you can rest the almost like the palm of your hand on that little ledge whilst you're playing. And well, there we go. The voice, ladies and gentlemen, the voice of experience. Thank you so much.
Made that mistake. I back in 2012 when I first designed it and prototyped it. It was very square and very angular and very uncomfortable.
Damn it!
Yeah. But you've got to make those mistakes, and that's part of the.
That's part of the deal. Yeah, part of the learning process. Yeah,
very important.
Thanks ever so much, Ian. That's an absolute stroke of luck. Look at this. I can rest my arms on my knees, which are of a similar height, in fact slightly higher than the top of the joystick, which ultimately means that I've got quite a natural resting place for playing this particular joystick when it's in use on this coffee table. I guess I'm just lucky here. Take care, people. Thanks ever so much for watching.